Good day, everybody. Welcome to Imago Dei Christian Apologetics. And once again, shout out to our new subscribers. Thank you for joining us and joining me in this journey. In today's video is slightly a little bit different. You all know the name of Richard Dawkins. You all know that Richard Dawkins is a well-known atheist. And I'm going to play a video today of him with Alex O'Connor discussing whether there is any good arguments against atheism or for Christianity. In the name of William Lane Craig came up from Alex O'Connor, and Dawkins was very condescending, making fun of William Lane Craig, and basically said that there is no good arguments out there. He's never felt stunned by any question debating a Christian. So we're going to get into this video, but then I'm going to play you another video that I saw years ago about him, Richard Dawkins, who cannot even name the book, the title of the book, which his whole worldview is based on. Without further ado, if you like this video, hit the subscribe button, notification bell, and I'll see you in the comment section. And please leave a comment, please leave a like, and share this video wherever you find it, because Richard Dawkins just made a fool of himself. Let's get into it.
Who's the most formidable debate opponent that you have had in your career that you can think of now on this question of God's existence?
I don't think there are any.
No point in a debate where you're sat there getting ready to get up and give your 10-minute rebuttal while they're speaking, writing your notes and thinking, oh gosh, what am I going to say to that? That's a fair point.
Don't think so. I mean, I don't want to sound arrogant. It's not that I've got great points. It's just that I don't think there are any good points to be made. I mean, the sort of professional debaters on behalf of religion, people like William Craig, I have no time for him. I mean, he's got this sort of loud, rather pompous voice. He says premise 1, deduction 2, and things like that. And the audience, I suppose, is supposed to be impressed. I feel such contempt for him because of what he says about the Israelites slaughtering the Midianites. Instead of saying what any decent theologian would say, well, it never happened. This is just Old Testament story. He says, well, the Midianites had it coming because they were so sinful. And then if you worry about the Midianite children who had their brains beaten out of them, that's okay because they went straight to heaven. That finished him off as far as I was concerned.
And now we're going to see and listen to how he stumbles upon his own words, thinking that he can make fool of Christians and it won't get back to him. Let's listen to this.
That was doing the rounds in the 80s and in many parts of the US, which said on the back, there will, as long as there are math tests, there will always be prayer in schools. It's true. You can't ban a student from praying when he's looking at a question paper in an exam and he knows he's going to flunk it. You better believe he's going to call out to God. In fact, I don't know how many of you know the name of Richard Dawkins. Do you know the name of Richard Dawkins, that very noted atheist, belligerent atheist? I want to tell you something fascinating that happened, and this is a true story. It happened a few months ago. He was on a radio program on the BBC live, and he was dialoguing with one of the ministers of St. Paul's Cathedral. And he was, as usual, but Dawkins just very belligerent and hostile and verbose and all that he does to criticize believers. And he said, Christians are basically very unintelligent people. He said, if you want to ask an average Christian even to name the Gospels, they won't know it. They don't know it.
Interesting. It tells us an awful lot. When you say, I'm telling people what it is to be Christian, we ask them a very comprehensive list of questions. You can look at the press release. It would be very hard for anyone to deny that many of these questions, most of these questions, are fundamental to the Christian religion.
But you're saying they're not Christians even if they think of themselves as Christian. You know what they are, even though they tell you
I'm not presenting my opinion here. This press release is offered to people to look down it and say, look, these people who call themselves Christians actually don't read the Bible, don't go to church, don't believe Jesus was the Son of God, don't even know what the first book of the New Testament is.
But Richard,
it's up to you to make up your mind whether you think they're Christian. Don't ask me. My opinion is not relevant.
Richard, if I said to you...
And so the vicar just kept listening, and he said, Richard, you're a very erudite scientist. And Richard's just nodding, He said, your favorite book is The Origin of Species, right, by Darwin? He said, right. He said, Richard, can you name the full title of the book? This happened live. And Dawkins So, yeah, I know it's a much longer title than The Origin of Species. So the vicar said, go ahead. Name it for me.
If I said to you, what is the full title of The Origin of Species? I'm sure you could tell me that.
Yes, I could.
Go on then.
On the origin of species,
I'm quoting this to you now, please forgive me. This is the way it went. Richard Dawkins says, The Origin of Species, oh my God.
On the origin of species, there is a subtitle with respect to the preservation of favoured races in the fight in the struggle for
You're
life.
the high pope of Darwinism.
Not bad,
and
give him some justice.
But if you asked people who believed in evolution what that question, and then you came back and said 2% got it right, it would terribly easy for me to go, they don't really believe it after all. It's just not fair to ask people these questions.
The ultimate proof of the sovereignty and omnipotence of God is that it even takes an atheist who doesn't believe in him to call upon him to remind him of the title of the book that helped him deny him. And the next morning's newspaper said, and I quote, "It's been a bad week for atheists."
What can we draw from this? What can we draw from this horrific episode of Richard Dawkins? Never think that you are infallible for the same reasons you criticize other people. This turned back on him on a full 360 and he got embarrassed on the BBC, live on the radio. So, whatever we do in life, don't belittle other people in their worldview. Treat them with respect. Treat them as you want to be treated. But the Bible teaches us that we should love our neighbors as ourselves. And if you live by this principle, you will know how to treat other people with respect. Otherwise, the mighty God, the creator of heaven and earth, will shame you like he did Richard Dawkins. If you like this video, hit the subscribe button, notification bell, and I see you in the comments. And remember, truth matters. Till we meet again, ciao.